The Yukon 2 is an advanced stone cutting machine designed for precise, efficient, dependable performance. It quickly and easily sets up for manual operation, or it can be programmed for full automatic operation. The Yukon 2 performs cuts, adjusts speed, and executes complex commands all on its own through multiple cutting cycles, just as dependably as if an operator was present. This video presentation is meant to get started with the Yukon 2. It is divided into 4 key segments: an overview of basic components and layout, instructions on pre-cutting setup procedures, cutting operations, and finally maintenance procedures. This presentation can't cover everything, so to get the most out of your Yukon 2, be sure to carefully read all safety materials and operation manuals supplied by Park Industries. Let's begin with an overview of the Yukon 2's basic components and layout. The operator uses 2 controllers to operate the machine: the operator panel and the pendant. On the operator panel, you'll find joysticks that control the direction of the saw and potentiometers or pots that control the speed at which it moves. The touch screen allows you to perform many different functions through a series of screens, setting the location, speed, and direction of the cut. Manual and automatic operation, access to different cutting cycles, and diagnostics for quick troubleshooting. You can even change the controls between English and Spanish. The pendant has base controls, 2 buttons for each axis of arbor movement. They allow you to easily move the saw as well as set limits to control the travel of the saw. The remote pendant lets the operator get close to the cutting surface for more precise work. Located just behind the main control panel is a laser reference assembly, which projects a laser beam onto the stone for precise alignment. Be sure not to look into the laser's beam, as this will cause damage to your eyes. The saw blade and arbor motor are mounted on the cross-travel assembly, which travels from side to side along the bridge, forward and backward along the gantry, as well as up and down. All cutting operations are based on these 3 dimensions, so it's essential that you understand the direction the arbor travels over the cutting surface. Cutting occurs on what's called the x-axis. The side of the machine that is nearest to the control panel is called the x-plus end of the machine, and the side farthest from the control panel is called the x-minus end. Movement toward the control panel is considered x-plus movement, and movement away from the control panel is considered x-minus movement. Movement along the gantry occurs on the y-axis. Movement toward the rear of the machine is considered y-plus movement, and movement toward the front is considered y-minus movement. The y-axis is the dimension on which you align cuts. Up and down movement occurs on the z-axis. Upward movement is called z+, and downward movement is called z-. The z-axis determines how deep a cut will be, and whether the blade will clear the top of the slab while moving. All of these directions are labeled on the machine. Cutting a part in more than one direction is achieved by rotating and aligning the table to the desired angle. Miter cuts are achieved by changing the angle of the bridge. On the X+ side of the machine, we find the miter actuator assembly, which allows you to make this adjustment. Locking mechanisms, either the pneumatic actuator shown here or the standard bolt style, are found on either end of the Yukon 2. Located on the bridge are the mechanisms that drive the bridge along the gantry, the gantry drive shaft, and the end trucks, which are found at both the X+ and X- ends of the bridge. The more you know about the Yukon 2, the faster and more efficient you will be. Take the time to learn all the parts of the machine and their functions, as well as all maintenance requirements.